I'm gonna do a video here on a old truck I had over here. I hadn't started in a while. We're gonna crank it up. And when I say it's an old truck, it's a year I bet most people recognize, but they don't realize that's what this actually is. This is actually a 2000 model truck, which is kind of unusual because it is the GMT 400 body style. And so even though they started the Chevy 800 series, I believe in 98 in the half ton, and so this is 2 years later that they still made these. And I think what these trucks were basically leftover parts trucks. So then they built them. So this has a build date of, and it's built in Arlington, Texas, which is right here in our neighborhood, Dallas. A build date of 1099, so it was right up to the year 2000. And what this truck is of course, it's a 2500. There not going to be any half tons in that style. And so it's just 2500s and 3500s that were built in 2000. And this is a pretty rare machine here, so that's why it's part of a collection. Not only is it just in perfect shape and all original, I mean, this truck is just phenomenally perfect. Not only is it that, but it's something a little bit more special than that too, because that's the bed. And so it's a little dusty in there. I haven't cleaned it off, but the tailgate's amazing on this thing too. Just absolutely incredible. And of course, if you've seen this truck before, you see it on my website. It's got a bunch of underneath pictures of it. Kind of hard to do these, but it is just absolutely nice. Got some Bilstein shocks on it. So I'll go more into the truck, what it is. It is 2500 4x4 Vortec 454 in a regular cab long bed, which makes it rare. So you know, most people by this time they had to have their extended cabs or their crew cabs. So this is a regular cab in a long bed, and it's got the big motor 454, which is the Vortec 454 with the 4L80 transmission. And this is a 373 gear truck, which is nice because if you had a 410 gear truck, it's a little bit too quick for this lighter weight truck. And being this is lighter weight truck, this truck's pretty darn fast. This is a good running truck. And the wheels are, some may recognize them already, but they're factory, not factory for this truck, but factory H2 wheels with the factory center caps for a Chevy truck integrated into them. They just bolt right in there. So makes really a nice, pretty look that goes with the truck well, especially with the coloring and everything. So that's what this is. And on the inside, this one is not your fully loaded machine, as far as it's fully loaded with all your hardware. So all the towing package, all of the stuff, and it's got the, let me turn the interior lights on here. Let's see, dome light, there we go, the dome light switch. So it has the things that I like personally, and most people are not gonna agree with that, but on a two-door truck, I love crank windows because I'm tired of dealing with GM power windows breaking. So that's perfect. Has the, I guess, better upgraded stereo, so it's not the CD player, because you could have got the CD player, but it's not the cheap, just an AM radio, and of course all the gauges. And that's the original miles on this thing, 48,000 miles, and all the miles were put on this thing the first basically year and a half, and after that it's been in a collection, and it's just been sitting, taken care of like a show car. So very basic on the inside. Of course, it's air conditioned, which we have. It does have the selectable 4x4, which is the actuator driven, other than the floor shift, which personally I kind of like the floor shift better, but that's the way this one was. And nothing much there. And of course, the other besides crank windows in a truck, rubber floors. Love them. Can't get enough of them. That's kind of the only other option I wish this kind of had that it doesn't have is maybe the factory CD thing in there, but that's it. I don't want any power windows and I don't want carpet, but good enough for me. But give me all the hardware, and that's what this truck has. So let's pop the hood and see the hardware. It does have the rear slider window, which is good. And there's your Vortec 454, which these were right at 300 horsepower with just a crap ton of torque. I think that number was cubic inch numbers, maybe 450 foot-pounds of torque, maybe a little more. I can't remember right off the top of my head. But that's what they are, and they run real good. I've had a lot of these motors. I've had a lot of the throttle body 454s, and they are dogs. This is not a dog. This is a very good running motor. And it runs like an LS 6 liter as far as your power and acceleration on an unloaded truck. But when you load it down, it keeps that performance. This thing basically is still fast, and it has the torque range of your where the LS motor is just going to collapse under a load. This does not. So this is designed to tow, and you can see this has got all the heavy duty, the extra fan, the big plate cooler there, and it's got the oil cooler. So it's everything, the big air filter, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And you can kind of tell how nice these are because the coolant bottles are just white. And this is those are the original ones to this. Nothing's been changed on this truck. So that's kind of what it's like. And I'm gonna crank it up. It's been probably sitting for, we try and do everything 3 months in here, but. So there goes, fuel pump engaged. Cranks right up. Warm up for a few minutes. And yeah, the front of this truck, so we have Bilstein shocks on it, and of course these wheels, there's no lift kit or anything in this truck. I did turn the torsion bars up just a little, not much, just a little on this truck. And the tire sizes, these are 285/70s. So the factory sizes are 265/70, 75s, I believe. So these are 285/70s, which is a nice size on this truck. Of course, the rims are 8-inch wide rims. That's where your stock 3/4 ton trucks are 6. So that makes a whole lot of the better looks of this truck. You can tell how nice these headlights are. You won't see that on your aftermarket ones. These are the real ones. Does have a catback exhaust system on it that I put on it, which really helps these big blocks. It's got a nice tip. The tailpipe's actually a Duramax tailpipe. We use a Duramax tailpipe, and the Flowmaster dual 3-inch inlet to a single 3.5-inch outlet upward. Duramax tailpipe for like a 800 series Duramax, like an LBZ motor. There's nothing wrong with the one that was on here. It was perfect. Just get that cool sound and a little bit more power out of it. Now the big one. Let's crank up the air condition. Here we go. Click, compressor. Getting cool, getting cool. All good. Nice and cold. Got a International Show Car Association decal on it. That's been in the Autorama, so years back. But anyway, that's kind of showing it. Not much else to see, so I'm not going to move it out of here. I think I actually may roll it forward just an inch, just to get the, it's kind of what we do. We kind of quarter rotate the tires on these cars that sit a long time and don't use. Get the brake off, put it in drive, boom. Go forward, right about there. I'll let it sit there for a little while. But anyway, yeah, daytime running headlights come on. Still got the DRL system in it. There's a little trick to these, of course. You just barely push that brake on right there. Shut them off. You can disconnect that. A lot of people do. This one's all stock. It's never been tampered with. So. Original window. This thing's got a when it was new, they put a engraving, I guess, on all the windows for theft. Probably one of the dealer options they all had that they did to it. There's your Made in Arlington, Texas sticker, which is awesome. So like I said, I think these things are just carryover trucks or probably leftover parts. I don't know how long into 2000 they even built these. Somebody can probably tell me that. I don't know, but this was built in 1099, so, but it's a 2000 and the last of the runs. You don't see many of these at all for the year 2000, and you certainly don't see many big block Vortec 4L80 transmission, regular cab, four-wheel drive trucks that are not extended cab or anything like that. So this is a rare bird, and very, very unique. So anyway, I'm gonna let it run a little bit longer. I'll shut the video off there. Probably getting boring, but look around here. So if you follow my videos, you've probably seen most of these cars. If you just found this thing by looking for a truck, then yeah, this is the gmclassics.com car collection. So that's who we are. This is really just the personal collection of myself and a couple other my buddies have some cars in here, but this is a lifetime of work that we've done, preserved a lot of these. And of course, we do buy, sell, and trade some of these here and there, but not like a dealership. This is not a dealership. This is just a collection. So some of the cool stuff in here for those who haven't seen any of this. Of course, we do all sorts of hot rod work. We're working on the El Camino. You've probably seen that video if you're watching this. So it's the 502 El Camino. You'll see that all over the place on YouTube. And our kind of our pride and joy Corvette Grand Sport with a 540 in it, and all done as a show car, but it's actually a real race car from a real race car chassis that was raced in the 70s and 80s. But Anyway, thanks for watching.